Welcome to the 10th anniversary of the Nantucket Book Festival. Thank you for coming. This is our first comedy panel in 10 years.
And they chose to do it at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, they chose to do it at 9 o'clock in the morning because the 8 a.m. slot was not available. Okay. So, have any of you, by the way, ever worked a Methodist church before?
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, that's what I used to be. I'm a lapsed Methodist myself.
So let me start by, I'd like to introduce the panel. Let me start by introducing Roy Blount, who, by the way, I knew you very well. I knew your name very well, but I didn't really know your work. And the Nantucket Book Festival is an opportunity for us to discover writers who might be famous, but we don't know them.
By the way, an author really likes it when you say, I didn't know your work.
I don't get paid for my name.
However, as a result of this, I really started doing a lot of research, and I found out that I relate to you because my wife and I moved from New York to the South, to Atlanta, right near Decatur, Georgia. My children went to school right near you.
All right. It's a good town, Decatur.
And so just to tip you off to one book for Roy Blount, the one that caught my eye was, if I could tell you, it was the one on the South. Long time leaving dispatches from up south, and on every single page there is a line that gives you delight, including, I am an emigre from a region that tried a century and a half ago to emigrate from the United States en masse. Every single page there's a line.
I'm really kind of touched that y'all didn't let us go.
We've regretted it.
No, yeah.
I want to go next to Susie Essman because when I think of how many hours my wife and family and I have spent getting the clicker, going to HBO, saying maybe a new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm has dropped, and then we're always surprised to say, no, it hasn't because we just finished the last season yesterday. But we do that specifically so we can see you and Larry David riff, and then we just rewatch the episodes and we laugh just as hard the second and the third and the fourth time. But I didn't know why you would be here because I didn't know you were an author. And so then I looked up your memoir and I started reading your memoir, What Susie Says.
Yeah.
And the subtitle is?
I don't remember.
Ah.
It was a long time ago.
And it's early, yeah.
The subtitle?
Oh, bullshit wisdom about love, life, and comedy.
Yes, and that's where I learned that you, as a little girl, dreamed of being an actress, and then you refined your dream. You wanted to be a character actress, and then you became a stand-up comic, and it's all come together on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and we...
And season 12 coming up.
Good.
We haven't shot it yet, so, something bad could happen, but so far, poo.
I go next to Alan Zweibel, whose name, I really know, but we didn't know what you wrote on Saturday Night Live. On the first writing team of Saturday Night Live, and I read your memoir, and your memoir's title, I love, is Laugh Lines, My Life Helping Funny People Be Funnier. And I read your book, and I'm saying, oh my God, you're the one who wrote the John Belushi samurai scenes. There's nothing better than that, but more relevant to my life, I just want to tell you briefly, my father was a stand-up comic, my late father, and he worked the Catskills. And
What was his name?
His name was Bobby Shields. And
I know Bobby Shields, and I know what apartment he lived in the city.
You do?
Yeah. Bobby Shields, I knew when I was writing for those guys.
That was a different Bobby Shields. That was
Oh, sorry, I got too enthusiastic.
No, but did you ever write any jokes for him?
Bobby Shields. He may have stolen jokes I wrote for other people.
I will tell you something. I believe I did hear growing up in the early 70s your name and people recommending this was your entree. I just learned from your book.
Oh, that's
into the
interesting.
business.
That's nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, and so I was wondering if I owed you $5 from my behalf of my father.
We'll talk on the way out, okay.
But listen, thank you so much for your humor and for making funny people funnier. And Dave Barry, early 1980s, I graduated from Vassar College. I went to Washington, D.C. I had a job there. And whenever your column would come out in the Washington Post, I read it. And then I said, I want to refresh my memory on your columns. So I didn't realize that you had won a Pulitzer Prize in 1988 for Distinguished comedy. And here was the line from the Pulitzer Committee: for his consistently effective use of humor as a device for presenting fresh insights into serious concerns, which is really why we're all here. So I'm just, as a final note, I realize you all are friends, and you two have actually collaborated on one of the funniest books. It's for the Jewish Passover of Holiday, and you co-wrote it with a third friend of yours, and it's the Passover Haggadah. Very, very funny, and I just want to quote the blurb on the front, which is, and there were 3 of you authors, 3 of the funniest people I have ever created. Sign God. And so I'd like to introduce you to 4 of the funniest people ever created.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. We're about out of time. So anyway, thank you, Michael.